India is currently undertaking the world's largest repatriation operation. 64 flights will be deployed over the course of the next few days to bring back thousands of Indian nationals who are presently stranded abroad. Now, the spotlight is firmly on India's public carrier Air India, and it is going to be a huge mission. And to give us an insight as to how all of this is going to pan out, we are joined in right now by India's Civil Aviation Minister, Hardeep Singh Puri, who is presently coordinating this mammoth exercise called the Vande Bharat exercise. So, Minister, let me begin by asking you this. Now, the Vande Bharat exercise has begun, and some of the flights have already landed back in India. So, can you tell us the latest details in terms of the Indian nationals who've been brought back so far?
I think this is the largest evacuation program undertaken by any government using civil aviation assets in the last few decades. The total number of people we had originally planned to bring back is 190,000. 190,000 was a figure arrived at after our missions contacted the association of our citizens there. As we proceeded, it became clear that the 190,000 figure is on the conservative side. So I expect the total number wanting to come back would be way beyond that. We have so far drawn up only a program for the first 1 week. That is starting yesterday, 7th May to 13th May. During the first 1 week, the plan is to bring back 14,800 of our citizens who are stranded or in distress from 12 countries through 64 flights. The first 3 flights were 2 from the Gulf, which came to Kerala, each carrying 177 passengers and 4 or 5 infants each. These were Air India Express planes. They arrived in Kerala yesterday. Then the first flight from Singapore arrived this morning. And now there are flights from Bahrain, Saudi Arabia. Now there are many. As we speak, the number is increasing. Our expectation is that the figures we worked out in consultation with the state government, because it's not the number of flights that we have to put in. That's quite easy. You have to ensure that the citizens being brought back are tested before they board the flights. You have to ensure that all the procedures, the aircraft is disinfected, all the precautions that you can take within an aircraft are taken. But most important, at the point of disembarkation, there are arrangements for quarantining all incoming passengers for a mandatory period of a fortnight. If this goes on as it has started well, we will increase the number of flights and increase the number of people coming in. We need to complete this first phase of 190,000, and as I said, this figure may be conservative. We may have to increase the number as we go along.
And also, Minister, considering the challenges of social distancing that will have to be adhered while on flight and also at the airports, how prepared are the airports to handle the repatriated passengers at this point of time?
The airports are fully geared. The airports are, they have done trial runs. There is absolute no doubt on the social and physical distancing required. I was reading an interesting report that the passengers who got up in Kerala, normally you are received with garlands and flowers and, warm hugs. This time they were received with warmth, but at social distancing and people wearing protective gear and masks.
And also, Minister, one of the industries that's been the worst affected due to COVID-19 is that of aviation. In India, the aviation industry has been hammered because of the fact that there are no flights in operation presently. Now, a package is awaited for the aviation sector in India. As Minister, can you share some details as to what this package could look like and how quickly could it come?
I'll tell you, it's not a civil aviation industry specific issue. If you keep any organization, let alone a country, in lockdown for a period of 2 months or thereabouts, there is going to be disruption. Now, the airlines are not able to fly, they don't have revenue. The airports are not operating flights. Of course, Delhi airport is operating cargo flights and their other repatriation flights of other countries. But not all airports are operating flights, so they don't have revenue. The tour operators are not being able to book tickets. They are not being able to earn their commission. The hotels don't have any tourist traffic. So it's a larger problem. What we have to do is to ensure that we try and resume the economic activity at the earliest possible so that revenue, the economy can be kick-started, normal activity can begin, people begin to move around and go about their normal work in a productive way. Now, in the process, every industry, now I am Minister for Civil Aviation, also for Housing and Urban Affairs, also I am Minister for State for Commerce and Industry. Now, whenever I talk to the stakeholders in any of my ministries, my heart goes out to them because I can understand their problem. Export industries were closed for a while. They have not been able to execute their orders. They are in trouble. Many of their migrant labor has gone away, so they need to incentivize them. But the migrant labor will come back when you resume economic activity. Now, it's an intertwined, multi-layered challenge that we have to address. So what we are doing is, we're trying to open up quickly so that when economic activity resumes, we are able to do it. Now, my job as Minister of Civil Aviation or Housing and Urban Affairs is to relay the requirements, filter them, try and understand them, and then endorse those requests which appear reasonable to us. But ultimately, the Finance Minister and her team will have to make an assessment of the demands of all the sectors, all the segments which are crying out for attention, and then accordingly prioritize, and then she and the Prime Minister will take the appropriate decisions.
And also, Minister, the fact of the matter is, it is Air India that is at the forefront of this Vande Bharat exercise. There is also plans to divest from Air India. At this point of time, do you think this is a plan that is going to get delayed for quite some time to come?
Well, I'll tell you, all that we have delayed is the timelines for receiving of the expression of interest. And we've just delayed it by 2 months. I keep saying, I'm on record, Air India is a first-rate asset. It has 120 planes. It has access rights to foreign countries. It has wide-bodied aircraft. It flies to 40 foreign destinations, 80 domestic destinations, and it is backed by the government. So Air India is a first-rate asset, but it has a very high and problematic debt servicing problem. But I think it's a good buy for those who want to enter the sector. And I am not only hopeful, but I'm confident that when the time comes, after this COVID challenge has been met, that we will resume the disinvestment process with full force.